Hey, welcome to the chosen ones. The most dangerous person alive is the one who no longer seeks permission to exist. Chosen ones, you're not just walking through life, you're tearing down the walls people built to contain you. Here's a fact: studies show that when people can't understand or control someone, they're more likely to fear or envy them. Congrats, you're living rent-free in the minds of your haters, and they're scrambling like rats trying to find the exit. You're not dangerous because you fight back, you're dangerous because you don't have to. Your silence cuts deeper than their words, your presence is an unspoken command, and your glow reminds them of the darkness they're stuck in. But let's be real, watching them run away is almost too much fun, right? At number 1, your energy is all over the place. People don't know what to expect from you, and that scares them. One minute you're calm and focused, working on your goals. The next, you're a storm, tearing through obstacles like they were never there. It's not chaos, it's calculated unpredictability. You move with a purpose so sharp that it cuts through every expectation people try to place on you. This is what makes you are dangerous. They can't pin you down, and that frustrates them. They don't know whether to fear you, admire you, or try to stop you. When people can't predict your next move, they can't plan their attacks. You're always 10 steps ahead because you don't follow a script. They're busy preparing. You're dangerous. They can't pin you down, and that frustrates them. They don't know whether to fear, admire, or try to stop you. When people can't predict your next move, they can't plan their attacks. You're always 10 steps ahead because you don't follow a script. They're busy preparing for a fight, and you're already building something bigger. You keep them on edge because your energy shifts when it needs to. You adapt, you evolve, you show up when it matters most in ways they never saw coming. That's why they hate you. They're not just running from you, they're running from their inability to control or understand you. It's not just about being unpredictable to others, it's about surprising even yourself. You push limits, step into places you've never been before, and do things they thought were impossible. While they stay in their comfort zones, you're out there. You're like a wild card in a world full of rules, and that makes you unstoppable. People like you aren't supposed to exist, so they've never seen anyone like you. And yet, here you are, a living, breathing paradox that keeps everyone guessing whether they love you or fear you. Either way, they can't look away. Second, you defy labels, and that's where your power lies. People desperately want to categorize you to make sense of you, but you refuse to make it that easy. You're too dynamic, too layered, too complex for their one-dimensional world. Second, you defy labels. People desperately want to categorize you, to put you in a box that makes sense to them, but you refuse to make it that easy. You're too dynamic, too layered, too complex for their one-dimensional definitions. It's unsettling for them because in a world where labels offer comfort and clarity, you are an enigma that refuses to be solved. They try to call you too much, too little, too loud, too quiet, but none of it sticks. One day you're breaking the rules, the next you're rewriting them entirely. You're the person who laughs in the face of expectations and does what feels right, not what's convenient. People aren't used to that. Dimensional definitions are unsettling for them because in a world where labels offer comfort and clarity, you're an enigma that refuses to be solved. They try to label you, but none of it sticks. One day you're breaking the rules, the next you're rewriting them entirely. You're the person who laughs in the face of expectations and does what feels right, not what's convenient. People aren't used to that kind of freedom, and it makes them uneasy. To them, you're a mirror reflecting everything they wish they had the courage to be. Your refusal to conform threatens the very foundation of their worldview. They need you to stay in one lane because it's easier for them to deal with, but you're not here to make anyone comfortable. You're here to grow, evolve, and stretch beyond what even you thought was possible. Their confusion is not your burden. It's a sign that you're playing a bigger game. What makes you dangerous is that they can't predict you. You're not one thing, you're everything. You're not consistent in the way they expect because your consistency is tied to your growth, not their standards, and that scares them. People fear what they don't understand, and they'll either try to label you or run from you. Either way, it doesn't matter because you're too busy living fully and authentically. You don't care what others think of you. You're uncontainable, and that's your greatest strength. Third, your comebacks are ruthless, which sets you apart. When life or your haters throw you to the ground, you don't just get up, you rise like a force of nature, stronger and more determined than before. It's not about revenge or proving anyone wrong, it's about proving yourself right. You don't respond to setbacks with pity or excuses, you respond with action, growth, and a level of resilience that leaves people speechless. What makes you dangerous is that you don't stay down. You take every loss, every insult, and every failure and turn it into fuel. While others wallow in defeat, you're already plotting your next move. You don't waste time explaining yourself or arguing with those who doubt you. Instead, you let your success do the talking. You don't let setbacks bring you down. You bounce back with action, growth, and a resilience that leaves people speechless. You don't stay down. You take every loss, every insult, and every failure, and turn it into fuel. While others wallow in defeat, you're already plotting your next move. You don't waste time explaining yourself or arguing with those who doubt you. Instead, you let your success deliver the loudest, most undeniable response. That kind of silence is deafening. It echoes in the minds of your haters long after you've moved on. Your comebacks are calculated, not emotional. You don't act out of anger or desperation. You act with precision. Every move you make is deliberate, and every victory is a reminder to everyone who doubted you that they underestimated the wrong person. That's what rattles them the most, not just that you've got a ton of nerve. You're not just some random person, you're a force to be reckoned with. You've got a way of responding that's as loud and clear as a bell. It's like you've got a microphone in your back pocket. You're not just talking, you're making a statement. You're not just reacting, you're owning the moment. You're not just getting back up, you're getting back up with a bang. You're showing everyone who doubted you that they underestimated the wrong person. You're showing them that you're not just some pushover, you're a force to be reckoned with. You're not just bouncing back, you're transforming. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. And that's what makes you unstoppable. You intimidate with authenticity because you show up as yourself, unapologetically, with no mask, no filter, no fake smiles, just raw, unfiltered truth. That kind of honesty is rare, and for many, it's terrifying. In a world full of people hiding behind carefully curated facades, you stand out like a blazing fire in the dark. It's not because you're trying to be different, it's because you've decided that being real is non. You're authentic, and that's intimidating to a lot of people. You show up as yourself, no mask, no filter, no fake smiles, just raw, unfiltered truth. That kind of honesty is rare, and for a lot of people, it's terrifying. In a world full of people hiding behind carefully curated facades, you stand out like a blazing fire in the dark. It's not because you're trying to be different, it's because you've decided that being real is non-negotiable. Your authenticity doesn't just make you stand out, it shakes people to their core. It forces them to confront their own masks, their own lies, and their own insecurities. When you show up fully as yourself, you disrupt the fragile realities they've built around pretending to be something they're not. It's not your intention to make them uncomfortable, but your very presence does exactly that. What makes you so dangerous is that you don't seek approval. You don't. You're not afraid to be yourself, and that's what makes you so dangerous. You're not afraid to be different, to stand out, to not fit in. You're not afraid to be authentic. You're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to be unapologetically you. You're not afraid to be unapologetically yourself. You're not afraid to be unapologetically different. You're not afraid to be unapologetically you. You're not afraid to be unapologetically different. 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 You're not afraid to be unapologetic. People might look up to you or avoid you, but you don't care what they do or don't think. You know something they don't. True power comes from being true to yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Just be yourself, and you're already winning. You're a threat to mediocrity because you refuse to settle for anything less than great. While others are content to be average, you're out there chasing more, reaching for more. People might look up to you or avoid you, but that doesn't matter because you've figured out something they haven't. Real power comes from being true to yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone just by being yourself. You've already won. You're a threat to mediocrity because you won't settle for anything less than great. While others are content with being good enough, you're out there chasing more, reaching higher, and breaking barriers that others didn't even know existed. Your ambition doesn't just challenge the limits of what's possible, it also exposes the complacency of those around you. Some people might not like that. Your existence is a constant reminder to others of what they've chosen to ignore, their own potential. When they see you striving, building, and thriving, it forces them to confront the fact that they've stopped trying. They've made excuses and told themselves ambition isn't just about achieving new heights, it's about pushing past the boundaries we didn't even know existed. It challenges the complacency of those around us and makes them face the reality that they've been ignoring their own potential. When we succeed and thrive, it's a wake-up call for others, reminding them that they've been sitting on their hands. They've made excuses, told themselves it's too hard, too risky, or simply not worth it. But when you walk in and prove them wrong, it stings. You're living proof that their excuses are just fear in disguise. That's why mediocrity can't stand ambition. You challenge the status quo and, by extension, those who've made it their home. Your drive is a mirror they can't avoid, reflecting back their lack of effort, their unfulfilled dreams, and the goals they abandoned along the way. It's not that they hate you, they hate the version of themselves they've chosen to bury. But here's the thing, you don't do it for them. You're not out here trying to make anyone else feel small. You're chasing your own potential, refusing to let life pass you by without giving it everything you've got. It's not your fault they feel threatened, it's their fear of failure that's eating them alive. You're not just ambitious, you're unstoppable. And for people who've settled, that kind of energy is scary. Number 6, you use pain to get what you want. You use pain in a way that leaves people shocked. What would destroy someone else only makes you stronger. Pain doesn't break you, it makes you stronger. Every setback, every betrayal, every disappointment becomes another part of the strong fortress you're building. It's not that you're immune to pain, it's that you've learned how to use it. You've turned what others fear into your greatest ally when life knocks you down. That kind of energy is scary. Number 6, you take pain and turn it into something positive. You use pain to build yourself up. Every setback, every betrayal, every disappointment becomes another brick in the fortress you're building. It's not that you're immune to pain, it's that you've learned how to use it. You've turned what others fear into your greatest ally when life knocks you down. You don't just get back up, you rise stronger, smarter, and hungrier. You take the lessons buried in the struggle and use them to climb even higher. People watch, waiting for the pain to stop you, but instead it propels you forward. They see you stumble and think you're finished, only to realize later that you've used the setback as fuel to light an even bigger fire. Your resilience terrifies them because it's unshakable. They can't figure out how you keep going when others would have given up long ago. Every time you refuse to be defeated, it reminds them of their own limitations. They see in you what they lack, the ability to endure, adapt, and thrive. That's what makes you so dangerous. They know they can't break you, no matter how hard they try. They try their best to break you, but they can't. Pain doesn't stop you, it makes you stronger. While others let it hold them back, you use it to push forward. That's why you're unstoppable. The harder life hits, the more you push through. Pain is just a stepping stone to your next success. They try their best. Pain isn't your enemy, it sharpens your focus, deepens your strength, and fuels your ambition. While others let it paralyze them, you channel it into action. That's why you're unstoppable. The harder life hits, the more dangerous you become. For you, pain isn't the end, it's just the beginning of your next breakthrough. 7. You redefine the rules. You redefine the rules because you refuse to accept limitations that don't make sense to you. While others blindly follow what they're told, you question everything. Why? Because you see beyond the surface. You understand that the rules were created by people no smarter than you, and if they don't fit your vision, you're not afraid to break them. You redefine the rules because you don't accept limitations that don't make sense to you. While others blindly follow what they're told, you question everything. You see beyond the surface and understand that the rules were created by people no smarter than you. If they don't fit your vision, you're not afraid to break them or even rewrite them entirely. You're not out to rebel for the sake of rebellion. This isn't about defiance or proving a point. It's about creating something better. You don't reject the system because you're reckless. You do it because it's outdated, ineffective, or simply not built for someone with your ambition. You see gaps where others see walls. Instead of just going along with the status quo, you forge your own path. This can be scary for some because it challenges their perception of order. Most people are comfortable following rules, even if those rules might be holding them back. But you're dangerous because you don't just play by the rules. You change them. When the system doesn't align with your goals, you don't just throw in the towel or settle. You find another way, and in doing so, you show others that the limits they've accepted are just illusions, that it's not about disrespecting tradition, it's about evolution. You're not afraid to challenge the norm because you know that growth requires change. While some will see your approach as audacious or even threatening, deep down, they know you're right. By refusing to. By not accepting the status quo, you're not just carving a path for yourself, you're setting a new standard for everyone else. That's not rebellion, that's leadership. Number 8, you're proof that power is silent. You've mastered the art of presence, so you don't need to say a word or make a grand entrance. When you walk into a room, the energy. You're not just carving a path for yourself, you're setting a new standard for everyone. That's not rebellion, that's leadership. You're proof that power is silent. You've mastered the art of presence. You don't need to say a word or make a grand entrance. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts. People notice you not because you're loud, but because your aura commands attention without even trying. There's a quiet intensity about you that makes everything around you feel more focused, more purposeful, more alive. You don't seek validation or recognition, you exude it naturally. What makes this so powerful is that you don't need to force your way into conversations or be overly dramatic to be noticed. Your presence speaks for itself. People subconsciously adjust when you're around, the room seems to align with your energy, and everyone instinctively respects your space. Being yourself is enough to make others acknowledge your presence. Your worth. This kind of power is intimidating because it's rare. Most people feel they have to shout, compete, or prove themselves to be heard. You've learned that true strength doesn't need to be advertised, it simply is. It's a quiet confidence that leaves a lasting impression long after you've left the room. While others are busy trying to be seen or heard, you've already made your mark, that you've taught the world that real power doesn't need to scream, it whispers, and in its silence, it commands respect that nothing else can match. Number 9, your vision is unreachable. Your vision is unreachable because your dreams are so audacious, they push the boundaries of what others believe is possible. While most people are stuck in there, you've already made your mark. You've shown the world that true power doesn't have to be loud, it speaks volumes, and in its silence, it commands respect that nothing else can match. Your vision is unreachable because your dreams are so bold. They push the boundaries of what others believe is possible. While most people are stuck in their comfort zones, dreaming small and settling for what's safe, you're thinking beyond the horizon. Your goals aren't just big, they're massive, bold, and untamed. And that's what makes them so scary to those who can't see past their own limitations. To them, your ambitions are like a distant galaxy that they'll never reach. They can't imagine the kind of scale you're working on. You're not content to just fit in and follow the crowd. You see beyond what's in front of you, and your goals are big, bold, and untamed. To others, they seem like distant dreams, out of reach. They don't understand the impact you're making. You're not just aiming for success in one area, you're changing entire industries, redefining what it means to be successful. You're building legacies that will last long after you're gone, creating a future that hasn't even been imagined yet. Others are amazed and a bit scared by what you're doing. Your dreams are big. People who are afraid to take risks and step into the unknown can't relate to your dreams. Your vision doesn't fit into their neat, comfortable boxes, and that's what makes them uncomfortable. But to you, that's exactly the point. You don't dream to be validated or to fit in with others. You dream because your potential has no limits. You see worlds they can't even imagine. This makes you a force they can't quite grasp. The fact that your vision seems unreachable only fuels your drive to make it happen. You're not scared by how impossible it looks to others. You're driven by the challenge, the thrill of knowing that your dreams will always be too big for the world around you. And while they doubt, you're already creating the future. Number 10. You don't chase, you attract. You don't chase, you attract. That it's not just that opportunities come your way, they can't help but gravitate toward you, whether it's people, possibilities, or even enemies, they find themselves drawn to your energy, whether they want to or not. That you've become a magnet for everything that aligns with your mission and purpose, and that kind of pull is impossible to replicate. What makes this so? You don't chase things, you attract them. It's not just that opportunities come your way, they can't help but gravitate toward you. Whether it's people, possibilities, or even enemies, they find themselves drawn to your energy, whether they want to or not. You've become a magnet for everything that aligns with your mission and purpose, and that kind of pull is impossible to replicate. What makes this so powerful is that you don't need to hustle or beg for what's yours. You figured out that the best things don't come from chasing after them. They come when you show up as your most authentic, powerful self. Your energy is so magnetic that it attracts the right people and the right situations into your life without you even trying. People are naturally drawn to you, not because you seek attention, but because your presence is undeniable. You're so powerful that you don't have to hustle or beg for what you want. You figured out that the best things don't come from chasing after them. They come when you show up as your most authentic, powerful self. Your energy is so magnetic that it attracts the right people and situations into your life without you even trying. People are naturally drawn to you, not because you seek attention, but because your presence is undeniable. It's not just the positive stuff that's attracted to you. Even your enemies can't resist coming into your orbit. It's not that you want them there. It's that your strength, success, and confidence make them feel small, forcing them to either challenge you or retreat in fear. But again, you don't chase them either. They are drawn to you because you represent everything they can't achieve, your growth, your vision, and you've got a lot of positive energy, and that's what attracts people to you. Even your enemies come to you. It's not that you want them there, but they feel small in your presence. This makes them either want to challenge you or run away. But you don't chase them. They come to you because you're everything they can't be. You're growing, you've got a clear vision, and you're strong. The cool thing is, you know the secret. Your energy creates its own momentum. You don't have to work for what you deserve. You just need to keep growing, shining, and attracting everything that's meant for you. The rest will follow. Those who are meant to be on your journey will find their way. They can't resist your energy, and neither can you. Number 11, you hold up a mirror. You hold your mirror, whether you realize it or not. Your success makes people face the parts of themselves they'd rather ignore. They're not mad at you, they're mad at what you represent. Every step you take, every goal you crush, every boundary you push shows the gap between where you are and where they are. You exist and they're stuck. And that's what they can't stand. You're not trying to expose anyone, but you do. You're just being yourself, and that's tough for people. The truth is, those who are too scared to chase their own dreams or push their limits are uncomfortable with what you're doing. Your achievements make their excuses seem weak. They can't stand the mirror you hold up to their lives, showing them how far they've fallen short of their potential. They don't hate your success, they hate the reminder that they've settled for mediocrity. They're afraid of facing reality. They're lashing out at you because they're afraid of their own missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. You've become the symbol of everything they could be but aren't willing to become. You're a living testament to what's possible when you refuse to stay in the comfort of complacency, and that makes them uncomfortable. Your growth forces them to question their own choices, their own fears, and their own lack of ambition. They hate what you've become. They're angry at you because you're the living example of what they could be, but aren't. You're a walking example of what's possible when you refuse to stay complacent, and that makes them uncomfortable. You're growing, and that makes them question their own choices, fears, and lack of ambition. They hate what you've become because it challenges everything they've convinced themselves is enough. But the truth is you're not responsible for their feelings. You didn't ask to make them uncomfortable. You just chose to live your truth. Your success isn't about putting them down. It's about elevating yourself to a level they can't yet reach. And as long as you keep growing, that mirror will keep reflecting back the truth they'd rather avoid. Number 12. You're the villain in their story and the hero in yours. To those who don't understand you, you're dangerous, unpredictable, and a threat to everything they've built. They label you as the antagonist in the narrative they've created about the world, and in their minds, your success is a challenge to their own mediocrity, but you don't care. You don't care to explain yourself because you're not here to fit into anyone else's story. You're too busy writing your own legend, one that no one will forget. You've learned that when you pursue greatness, you won't be understood by everyone. In fact, most people will misinterpret your actions, label you as aggressive or arrogant, or cast you're not here to fit in, you're here to write your own legend, and no one will forget it. You've learned that when you pursue greatness, not everyone will understand you. In fact, most people will misinterpret your actions and label you as aggressive or arrogant. They'll say you're someone who stands in the way of their comfort zone. But the truth is, you're not concerned with their misconceptions. They can call you whatever they like because you know they can't see the bigger picture. You're not here to please them, you're here to build something lasting, something that will echo through time. You're not concerned with their opinions, even if they don't like you. You're here to build something that will last, something that will echo through time. Long after their opinions fade, you might be a villain to them, but you're the hero of your own epic. You're the one who refuses to settle, the one who defies the odds, and the one who dares to dream big. Every challenge you face, every roadblock they throw in your path, only adds to the legend you're creating. You're not looking for anyone's approval. You're too busy creating something that'll inspire generations to come. So let them see you as the villain. You know the truth. You're the hero of a story that's just beginning, and one day they'll look back and realize they were just supporting characters in your eyes. Number 13. Your silence is louder than their screams because you've mastered the art of letting your actions speak for you. While others shout, criticize, or try to tear you down, you stay quiet. Not because you can't respond, but because you don't need to. Your results do the talking, and the impact is undeniable. Nothing shuts down noise like undeniable success, and you've learned that proving yourself doesn't require words. Haters love the attention. They want to get a reaction out of you. They scream their opinions, spread their doubts, and try to drag you into their chaos. But when you don't engage, their power goes out the window. Your silence frustrates them because it means you won't flinch. Instead, you channel your energy into progress, growth, and achieving things they can only dream of. It's not about ignoring them, it's about you can outpace them. While they're busy talking about you, you're busy building something they can't touch. And when the results start rolling in, their words lose all meaning. That's when they realize your silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. You were focused, deliberate, and too far ahead for their noise to matter. This kind of quiet confidence is rare, and it's intimidating. People aren't used to someone who doesn't crave validation or feel the need. The fact that you can stay calm while they're all worked up says a lot about your strength. They can yell all they want, but at the end of the day, it's your success that's going to make a difference. When things calm down, they'll be left with nothing but their own empty noise, while you stand tall, unbothered and victorious. In a world full of noise, mediocrity, and fear, you're a testament to what happens when you refuse to settle, refuse to conform, and refuse to. You don't need to chase anything: opportunities, respect, or validation, because your energy, drive, and authenticity pull everything you deserve into your orbit. Your silence is more powerful than their screams, and your resilience is so relentless that it breaks the very limitations they've placed on themselves. You've mastered the art of turning pain into fuel, of rewriting the rules, and of building a legacy that. Hey, if you're reading this, congrats on owning your power. You don't need to chase anything: opportunities, respect, or validation, because your energy, drive, and authenticity pull everything you deserve into your orbit. Your silence is more powerful than their screams, and your resilience is so relentless that it breaks the very limitations they've placed on themselves. You've mastered the art of turning pain into fuel, of rewriting the rules, and of building a legacy that terrifies those who can't keep up. The haters? They don't hate you. They hate the mirror you hold up to their own mediocrity. And while they desperately try to tear you down, you're too busy creating a story that will be told for generations. You are the hero in your own narrative, and while they try to paint you as the villain in theirs, your vision is so vast, so powerful, that it can't be contained by anyone's small mind. You are the force they never saw coming. The one they can't stop because your power isn't loud or desperate, it's quiet, steady, and unstoppable. As you continue to rise, know this: they may never understand, but they will always remember. You've already won the game, and the world will be forced to watch as you rewrite the rules for everyone else. If this message resonated with you, if you felt that spark of recognition, that reminder of your own power, then I invite you to join this journey. If you're on board, hit that subscribe button and let's keep climbing together. Every click, like, comment, and share is a vote for us, and it's a shared commitment to greatness, to rewriting the rules, and to creating a legacy that can't be ignored. If this spoke to you, let us know by commenting and sharing. We're all in this together, and we're stronger together. Let's show the world what we're capable of. You belong here, and you're meant to be here. Thanks for being part of this movement. Stay blessed.